Well, we got the cows across the road yesterday. Fence is all up. That's one of the major tasks for the week. Put them on that 20 acres over there so they have something to eat. I think I took a couple of pics. And I'm going to take a ride out to where Bob's working with a friend. You know, it's about a couple of hours east of here, from what I understand. Somewhere out by Hobart, New York. But, you know, every time I come off this hill when I go somewhere, you take a look at that view. This morning was just spectacular. The fog was down in the valley when I went down to fuel up. You know, it's one of the most beautiful places in the country out here. Well, they came with a bunch of stuff. This is a steel dealer, put on a little promotional.
I have 12 on starter on, give it going.
Pick it up.
Yeah,
What's it weigh?
A lot.
Power head's almost 30 pounds.
So it's probably close to 50 pounds, right?
Probably early 80s.
What's the term for RPM?
Well, it has a governor on it that I defeated.
First tree fell where they put the tree right top of the saw.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Wood breaking, man.
Gomer back there and big old Mac.
Yep.
He had a McCullough there too, and he grabbed it by the bar and had to go out in the woods to pick it up.
Yeah.
That's a full-on pro right there.
What's that second saw over that orange saw?
Sax Dolmar.
That is?
The 166.
Yep.
Yeah, big guy.
166 what?
That's gotta be.
That's the model number.
It's it's 118 cc's, and it's the
Don't like small saws,
most
do you?
horsepower of any production saw ever
Really?
made.
Supposed shortcut here, Gun Hill Road. One of those deals where you find it through the GPS, but it's a beautiful place. Now we're getting closer to the Catskills. Of course, I got a bunch of chainsaws in the back, so I can't exactly go through these corners all that quickly. Got that on film. The guy was right in my plane. Look at that beautiful view. Well, I'm on River Road, just outside of Hobart. He said a couple miles it'll be obvious. So here we are, hoping we can find the obvious. Well, this must be it. Now the question is, Bob's still here? And I don't see Bob. So I don't know. Somewhere west of Oneonta, 23. More of those central New York rolling hills. Taking 23 back, even though the GPS doesn't think it's the best route, because I actually plow a section of 23 on my real job at night from Cincinnati to the county line, And I always wondered where the heck 23 went. I never really took 23 much. Now I'm finding out. See, I'm not the only one that does this. We pushed our cows across the road yesterday. Almost home, by the way. It's nice when they cooperate like that. And that's actually quite the hill they got to come down. Yeah, they have to go into the pasture. And then you got the errant one down the road. This makes me laugh. You know, one thing I can say for sure is this particular truck I'm driving, this Dodge Ram 1500 with the Hemi, the 5.7 Hemi. What a wonderful vehicle it is to drive around on a day like this. You know, it's one of them deals where even though it's a pickup truck, it's pretty comfortable. Radio works really well, air conditioning works well. It handles for a pickup truck very well. Good brakes. Okay ride, it's a truck, you know, it's not like a road car. You wouldn't expect it to have the same kind of a ride as a car, and it wouldn't be able to carry anything either. But good power, the motor makes the right kinds of noises. One thing I can say for sure is that 8-speed transmission it has is just awesome as compared to the old 5s and 6 speeds that were in the past. It's definitely a leap ahead. You know, in the eco mode, the fuel economy mode where it drops a couple of cylinders, that works pretty good. You do hear it, you do feel it, kind of rattles a little bit or sounds a little funny when you drive it and let it go into eco. But like on the highway, it makes a huge difference in mileage. I mean, I've been seeing numbers in the mid-20s. Now, we drove this across country towing a boat, so we've got a good handle on how this truck operates towing too. I don't think I could have bought a better vehicle for what we're doing. You know, I don't know if that's a review or not, but I love this truck. No issues. I guess the one issue it has is when you first fire these things up on the warmer days, not so much the cold days, it's got like a tick. And my friend at work calls it a Hemi tap. And when I brought it back to the dealer talking about it, they said, yeah, it's pretty common. It can get pretty loud. I guess with that light oil they use, that 520 oil, which is, by the way, mandated by warranty, it takes a little bit for the lifters to pump up, so one of them will rap hard here and there. And sometimes it's more, you know, and sometimes it's less. It's not consistent from start to start. And on the colder days, you don't hear a thing, so it supports that theory. Other than that, I don't have any complaints at all. I really don't. Great truck. Dodge has done a great job. We've got close to 7,000 miles on it, so I'm talking from living with it now for a little while and got a little mileage on it. Maybe a little bit late, but I had a whole pile of turkeys crossing the road up here. They went from right to left, right where that road is. I'll see if I can't get them. Be over here somewhere. There they are. I don't know if you can see it or not. There they go. Motorcycle guys were complaining that the trees down here at the trail, and I have been up here in a couple of days because we've been dealing with darn cows, I've been dealing with the cow issues, moving them across the road and getting the fence line and all that, so nothing's really changed here since the last time I was up here with the camera. But came back from getting some parts from Bob, and I got a little bit of daylight left. I figure I better do something constructive with it, and those guys are trying to put on a race on the place, so I figured, well, maybe I better take care of that one tree. That'll give the MS660 a job. Maybe a little bit big for that job, but you know, I need to get time on it. Apparently it was a blown down maple. And reported to be on the road to the middle field. So that's what we're going to do. Take a walk down this road and see if we can find that tree. I think I see a tree down. Wow. Might be a log in that tree. So my mission for today is simply to open the trail. Now I need to remind you, if you're not experienced, that a blowdown such as this looks like fun, but if you cut that, you know, let's say I cut it right like there, there's a chance that root ball wants to fall right back to where it came from. So I'm thinking the first thing I want to do is alleviate the danger and cut that base right back there by the root ball and let that root ball flop back to where it came from. And that's risky all by itself, man. You have no idea you know, how the physics may play. You can guess, but a lot of times it's hard to tell. So operation number one is to cut that free of the root ball, let it flop back. So that's what I'm going to do. Now I feel like it's a little safer to work on. Second thing is, there's a nice saw log in there. Quite a nice saw log. Actually, possibly two of them. I'm going to guess there's roughly 30 feet of log right there. So the second thing I'm going to do is break down the top, and possibly this tree right here, to get the trail clear. And then I'm going to cut right there at the base of the Y and let my log buyer decide if he wants me to break that up into 8, 12, or 16 foot sections. So, not the best saw for it, but this is that 56 millimeter Farmertec top end, limbing with a big saw. Some of you guys might be asking how come I'm pulling brush and not sawing so much. Well, part of it's because of working by myself for many years. I realize that footing is really, really important. And I'd rather put the saw down with the chain brake on and clear where I'm going to work than step over the brush and crash through that job, you know, and possibly trip and fall into the saw. So the answer to the question is age versus youth and enthusiasm dictates those kind of decisions. Plus, I'm not earning money here. This is just clearing a trail. This is farm work. And farming is risky as it is, so is logging. So anything I can do to be a little bit safer when I'm out here by myself, I'll spend the time and I'll clear the work area before I go crashing ahead. Now I understand if you're a logger and you're out there and you're trying to make a living, you might push through it, cut all the branches first and pull them second. Actually, if you're a logger, you're not going to waste your time with the top. You're just going to cut the saw log off and skid it. But this is a typical operation that you're going to have on a farm, you know, especially if you have motorcycle trails, horse trails, where a big tree like that comes down, takes out a few more, and you got to clear the trail. Got to be careful. Brush, you know, you got to be careful. So that's why I'm picking my way through branch at a time and taking my time versus just crashing my way through as I would have done 10-15 years ago. So I will continue to pick. My saw is running a little bit rich. I kind of set it that way in the summertime, and as it cools off in the fall, it'll get a little crisper on the bottom. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Do next is I'm going to break out the saw log. I'm going to just cut these other logs at a length where I can, you know, turn them into firewood at some point in the future. I don't need to do that right now. Right below that Y, I'd kind of like to get the saw log out of there. So let's see what we got. So there you have it. Cleared that trail and broke the tree down with that Farmertec MS660 with the 56mm top end. And this is the new camera that ran out of batteries, but the thing has been running all day long, so it's not a surprise. And it looks to me like I have maybe a saw log. I'm not liking what I see in the heart there. I don't know, 35 foot long, maybe 30 foot long. And that's the saw that did it. Just a quick review. The mixture is a little bit fat on the bottom. I got to lean that out just a little bit. And that saw is a little finicky on the tuning on that low end. Not sure why. But I tell you what, putting the Sugi-Hara bar on that saw made this operation actually pleasant. Because with a big all steel bar I had on before, I would have had a backache by now. So that reduced weight bar makes a saw that size actually usable for me. It idles, it starts easy, cuts really fast, and that operation we did there, I may have used, let me see what that tank looks like. Not quite a half a tank of fuel, maybe a half tank. So it's not using a lot of fuel either for a big saw like that. For what it is, I'm liking that saw. Not quite as much as the 54mm version of the same saw. I think the 54mm version is going to get another Sugi-Hara just like that one. Make it even more pleasant. But I got it to start on the third pull, cold. It idled even though it was a little fat. Stalled once, but it had a lot of idle time. Restarted with the first or second pull every time. The key was if I push the decomp in on the hot start, it'll start first pull. But when I forgot to do that, I didn't get a full revolution before it popped back and yanked the cord out of my hand, hence the second pull. Nothing to do with the saw. It has to do with being an old fart, dealing with a 100cc monster that has good compression. So, you know, very, very useful saw to this point in time. I'm going to run it until it stops. That might take a month, it might take a year. Right now, though, it's feeling like a pretty solid build to me. I got a fair amount of time on it now. So, but for a farm saw, doing this kind of operation, it's a bit much. You know, possibly you can make that argument. Having said that, yeah, it was a bit much on the lemon side. But going through this stuff here, all I had to do was just let the saw weight carry it right through the wood. And it cut very quickly. So I didn't really get tired at all. I'm warming up to that saw. Just because it's performing well. You know, for no other reason. Nice saw. It's getting dark, so I guess I have to call it a night. Just noticed that tree right there has got some dead branches in the top, so maybe it has to come down too. It's been so dry. It's been so dry. There's a nice log right there. Look at that tree. That's probably, it might have some taps in it, but it's probably 26 inches. Gotta thin this area up too at some point. So anyway, talk to you later. Bye for now. Pressure. Gotta let that well recharge before I turn it back on. roadside bank. Yeah, they're empty. See if the hose will reach. So I gotta dump 150 gallons and then my night's done. I can put this video together and call it a night. Typical day in the life. Got up this morning at 6, actually 5:30, and I don't think I'll get to bed until a little bit after midnight. Yeah, they're filled, so that's it for the night.